My name is Bob Gallione, and I'm a member of the Bergenfield Sustainable Jersey Committee. We are associated with the Environmental Committee, and we have the good fortune of having received a grant from the state of New Jersey to promote our projects. Our grant focuses on community gardening, and if any of you have had the opportunity, we do have a community garden down on Windsor Road going towards the teenage border. In fact, I see a couple of my gardeners in the audience right now. And we're going to make the garden bigger next year so that more people can participate. So today's program, we're going to accomplish a couple of things. This program is being held in conjunction with the Bergenfield Health Department, and we will have Dave Volpe speak a little bit about the activities of the department, and then our master chef, Patty Marsilio August, will be showing us what it really means to do healthy gardening in our community. A special shout out to our Bergenfield High School students who are videotaping today's presentation, and it will be used as part of a link to the library website, to the municipal website, and to the Bergenfield School District website. So I'd like to ask Dave Volpe if he would please come up here, our health department head, and just say a few words and provide an introduction for Patty. Again, we really appreciate you turning out today. This is a great way to celebrate our library as well. Dave?
Hello, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. I am also from Bergenfield. I grew up here. Bergenfield High School, class of 1973. And I was very fortunate just to bump into Dagmar Limonati, who was friends with my mother apparently. And they haven't seen each other in 50 years or so, and I just put them on the phone with each other, and it was quite the reunion. I am not just the director of the Bergenfield Health Department, I'm also the director of the Hackensack Health Department. I sit on a number of committees, including the County Obesity, Physical Activity, and Nutrition Committee, county-wide committee. Among other things, I'm also president of the health officers, so I'm all over the place nowadays. But I am fortunate to be in Bergenfield today because we do have one of the best public health nurses in the state of New Jersey. Patricia August is the president of the New Jersey State Municipal Nurses Association, our section, I believe, right?
Bergen and Hudson.
Bergen and Hudson. She is the go-to person for nearly every health department here in the state of New Jersey, and she is a ball of energy. I can hardly control her. She puts these things together and then says, Dave, guess where you're going to be? Guess where you're going to be this morning speaking? And here I am. Obesity, physical activity, and nutrition, three big words. The obesity epidemic here in the United States, which is continuing unabated. Lack of activity, I don't know why, it's the sedentary lifestyle that's been occurring. But Patty has decided this morning that she's going to be talking about not just our community garden, but healthy eating. And personally, I don't care whether you eat inorganic or organic. You know, when you go to the supermarket and you see those organic vegetables that cost a little bit more because they don't have pesticides in them. Personally, it doesn't matter whether it's inorganic or organic, as long as you're increasing the number of vegetables and fruits you're eating per day, decreasing the meat, decreasing your salt, decreasing the fat. I mean, you've heard all of this before. You don't need me to tell you all this. So, I would like to introduce our, like I said, the most wonderful public health nurse that I've ever met, Patricia August.
Thank you very much, Dave, and welcome everybody. I'm so glad to see a good turnout. So, I have some good things in store for you. I will try to keep the presentation short enough so that we can eat. And I think you won't have to have lunch. You'll have it here maybe. So that's good. Let's see if you can hear me without this. I think that you can because, is this good?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, that's good. All right, now gardening. It's very important, to eat local. Now how local is it to eat with things that are grown right in your own town or right at your own home? I keep an herb garden right outside my back door. This is from it. Now, if this was in the summer or late summer, everything here would be grown at the community garden in Bergenfield. Because of the time of year, late October, obviously some of the things haven't. But I do can, I do freeze. The sauce from here is from our tomatoes and onions grown at the Bergenfield Community Garden. All right, so, and we did grow a ton of eggplants, but this eggplant is not from that, I just made this. So just know that you can have things very local and delicious and organic. And organic, chemically in your body, does it matter if it's organic or not? Probably not. You could wash it. However, I don't know. Whenever there's a shadow of doubt, I say if you can do organic or as much organic infused in your life as possible, all the better. You know, every day you hear somebody new being diagnosed with cancer. If we get back to nature, if we get back to natural, that's good. And gardening is more than just the food. It's physical activity, okay? To turn the soil over, you need to stretch, you need to exercise, even if it's sitting while you're watching TV or the presidential elections and holding soup cans. I'm not kidding. It makes it monotonous, but when you're watching some of those presidential debates, it's kind of interesting. Don't throw it. But so those things are good because you're going to need to stretch before you get out there and start gardening. You have to turn the soil over, or even just bending down. You want to bend down with the right body mechanics. Use your knees. Don't do one of these. All right, that's how you throw your back out, especially if you haven't done it in a while. Because gardening happens when? In the spring. So all winter long, you're not stretching, bending, so think about that. I want you all to think about wearing a hat. Not because it's just so stylish, but because it keeps the sun off of you, and sunscreen. You need to do that. When you're out gardening, you know, I have like a farmer's tan, you know, and I put the 50 on me. But that you need to put on every 2 hours. Don't use anything less than a 30 SPF on your sunscreen. You might as well have nothing, all right? But 30, 50 is better. Anything over 50 isn't worth the extra money you pay for it. It's better that you reapply it, all right? So anything after 50, you know, keep that in mind. Long sleeves, you know, they have lightweight, that's sunproof, that helps too. But the hat is a definite, I think a definite must. It adds a statement. It helps you to focus. Working your hands. One of the reasons I think people are so heavy these days is stress. I mean, I'm a stress eater, you know, and so if you're stressed, that's not a good thing. But gardening is unstressing. You're concentrating on what you're doing. It's your baby that you're going to be growing. And also, it's good to be close to the earth. I'll give you an example. There's a lady that I was walking my dog with, and we were walking our dogs. And she just came back from India, and she's a yoga instructor. And she was walking barefoot. And I said, don't you want to put your shoes on? Because I picked her up at her house walking by with my dog. And she goes, oh no, I'm still in the Om. I'm still in that mood. I like to walk and touch the ground because the Mother Earth gives you energy. And she's explaining this calmness, this wholeness. And I said, you know, is that what happens to me when I garden? She goes, absolutely. So that's something to think about. I know it sounds a little bit way out there, but it's, you know, there's something to it because I'm most happy in my garden. I really am. And I like to eat good food, and wholesome food. American Cancer Association says, let's eat more fruit and vegetables. Let's stay away from the beef. Either more plant-based proteins, which we have here. We're going to have some shakes for you with muscle milk. All right, and then vegetables, some from our garden, some that we picked up from Pennsylvania Dutch. Some from the local greengrocers. We have 2 good ones right in town, maybe 3 good ones. There's some on the avenue also. I mean, we have good stuff out there. Not to mention what you can potentially grow on your own. Okay? Now, I do have the herb garden. I do say herbs are great. Use them, sprinkle them in everything. Try different ones. You know what? You don't need salt if you do the herb thing. Right? There's no salt in anything here. If I do use salt, everything has salt in it naturally, in a little trace. That's all you need. But I try to use a natural salt, like a sea salt, if I use salt. I haven't used it on these, all right? Some ingredients, like when you buy canned or bottled things, they'll have salt in it. You don't need to do that. You can add your own herbs. I personally, you don't have to buy these brands, but I personally find that these are very, very good. This Dr. Bragg's, they sell it very low cost at our green, grocery stores in town. We have 2 of them, and they sell them. They're usually like $4.99, and it's very good. It's got whole apple cider vinegar, very healthy for you. Okay, and then I mix it with some olive oil. And you can pick up olive oil or even other types of oils, like almond oil. And these are all in our green stores, all our grocery stores that, have them in comparably not a bad price. Sprinkle a little of that, a little of the apple cider vinegar, and some herbs, grind them up. This is a very handy tool. I got it at a garage sale. All right, it's Williams Sonoma, but they do sell other brands, and it wasn't a lot. It was $2. Peter, what was it? Anyway, it's my hubby. Anyway, so you take your herb. You can take a knife and do it. You don't need this gadget, but it makes it very tiny and delicious. Did you know that parsley and other herbs are rich in iron and trace minerals? These are, some people say buying a vitamin pill, is it really worth it? I heard it said, it was on WebMD, is it just pretty colored urine? Does it just come right out of you? Well, if you have herbs and get your vitamins from herbs, those vitamins are going to stay with you. They're easily absorbed. It's nature's way. It's how our bodies were meant. Cave people didn't have vitamin pills. They ate everything that grew around them. Okay? And it makes a nice seasoning with your oil and vinegar. And everybody has their favorite. I love rosemary. I grind it up even in here or with a knife, and I put it in any breads that I'm making. It's so savory. I have to say, stop eating that. Okay? So those are things. And that can be done. You don't need land. I'd love you to go to the community garden. That's a great place to get to know your neighbors. We all help each other. But you know what? If you can't do that, we're all getting older, or we're busy. Even if you're volunteering, you have 2 jobs, So if you can have a container garden right outside your door, that's easy. And it's right there. And I have kale all winter. This cold weather stuff. This parsley I just picked this morning. This parsley I bought at the green grocer. If you get a chance, pick a piece. Everything's washed here. Pick a piece, taste mine, taste theirs. Fresh is better. Okay, I don't know how old this is. It's a week old. This is a couple of hours old, and it's making more. All right, so those are things to think about. And then other things to mix things in. I'm going to show you a few recipes. All right, but I made eggplant rollatini, and I use this. I don't know, I'm not here to promote name brands. There are other brands out there. But this Bob's Red Mill is readily available in all our grocery stores. This is really good. The flaxseed meal. Dip your eggplant, slice it, dip it in, first put it in water and let it soak for 30 minutes. Rinse the water out, dry them. Dip them in egg, mixture with milk. Then dip it in the flaxseed meal. Then dip it in the egg again, flour, this again. And then quick fry it in the frying pan. Not in a ton of oil. I use the spray. Then it's nice and soft by then. I make my mixture of ricotta cheese and fresh Italian parsley. Try to go for the Italian parsley, not because I'm Italian, but I know the other one looks pretty, the curly, it's garnish, but this is more flavorful. All right, and rip it. When you rip it, the oils are released. All right, or cut it up tiny. Right. Sprinkle that in with the egg and the ricotta cheese, and then you got your flat eggplant that you've cut into maybe an 1/8 inch strip, and roll it up. And stick it in a pan, and that's what you're going to have a tasting of later. The sauce is from the community garden. I made it this summer, froze it, defrosted it, and when I was making the eggplant yesterday, then we have it, okay? So you can try that. Now, infusing more vegetables in your life, first just buying it. You don't want to buy it and have it go bad. You buy it, you have it out. These kind of trays or a bowl, those pretty crystal bowls you got for your wedding? Put them, use them. I eat on good silver. Because, I don't have that much time left. Might be another 20 good years. So I want to use them. Use the good stuff. Put it out there, and then it'll be within reach, and you're going to cook with it. Shop daily or every other day. Plan your meals, and you'll infuse more vegetables in it, and it'll be healthier and tasty and just nice. And you can freeze if you make too much, and have it another day for lunch or whatever. Especially if you live alone. Cooking for one is really hard. I mean, a hard-boiled egg, really. You know, so when you freeze meals, that's good. And fresh, it's even better. Now, I like to have fun in the kitchen, and one of the things that has been keeping me off of spaghetti, because I love my spaghetti, but I need to eat less pasta and more vegetables. And it really is good, is I bought a spiralizer. Now they sell different ones. There's a hand one. I have a little bit of arthritis, so I like this one better because the hand one, you put the vegetable in and you crank it, and that kind of bothers me after a while. And I like to make a lot at once. So I use this spiralizer. Now, this is a zucchini, and I'm going to show you what I did. And then later on, anybody who wants to try it, I'll be here and I'll show you how to do it. Okay? Take it. I cut off the ends. Now, I find that I don't put such a big piece on there. It's hard for me to manage, maybe because, I don't know, my hand's a little. This slides on here. It's so fun. All right? And I put it here, and then I just spin it. Oh, I'm sorry. Oops, that piece is no good. No, okay. Does the 5-second rule matter here? Yeah. All right, see this? Let me see if I can show you. All right, now I'm telling you, you won't know it's not spaghetti. You can put sauce on it. You could boil it. I like to saute it in a little garlic and a little olive oil, but you know, you could boil it just like you do green beans. All right, but look at this. All right, and then I get that, you know, because eating isn't just the taste, it's the sensation. I need to roll something and spin it on a spoon. I just do. That's what food is. You know, but this is so much better for me. All right, as far as for regulation for your body, vitamins, you put a little herbs on it, it's a vitamin pill. Does it take long to make? No. I do this up. Sometimes I do a bunch at once and freeze it, which you can do. You know, and you could use it in bread. If you like to bake and make zucchini bread, maybe put a little rosemary, you know, little spices in there, you know, savory. So those are things to think about. But to show you what it looks like, I did this right before I came here. Still warm. I got some green beans, which by the way, this year, every year you get better things, but this year our green beans at the community garden, the eggplants, and the peppers grew wonderful. All right, and even the corn. But anyway, this is it. I diced up an onion and put in some green beans, and this is it. Okay? And I used the mother of all apple cider vinegar and a little bit of olive oil and spices. Not from a shaker, fresh herbs, right outside my garden. So I think you'll like this. Okay? And it's good for you. So that's your vitamin pill. So I'm gonna ask someone to kindly take this.
I can do.
Bob,
Yeah.
thank you. If you can take this and put it on the table. Now, I wanted to also let you know that we did get a donation of reverse osmosis water, because you know, we're mostly water. You know, you're like 95% water. So I want you to drink more water. A lot of people hate drinking water. Drink it. I did get a donation of something I found at a health fair, and I really love it. It's called the True Lime, or True Lemon, or True Orange. It's just dehydrated crystals of lemon and orange. There's no chemicals in it. It's great. And it comes in a nice little size, like a sugar bear, but it's not sugar. It's just the flavoring. I even use it in cooking. And so you're going to get free samples of that. You get a goodie bag to take home. Share it with your family, because you're my food ambassadors. You're my health ambassadors. You know, you live long enough, you know. You all look healthy, you all look good. Pass it on to your family, because nobody's more important to you than they listen to what you say. You have wisdom, all right? So you've cooked meals for 5 kids, whatever, you know. So take this information that we're sharing today back to your family, and that could be a good thing. So these things will grind up, and I have Ziploc bags, so you can take this home. Rinse it again, you know, but it's here for you to take, all right? I made another thing that I know culturally, my mother did this when we were little. She'd take any kind of vegetable and make like a potato pancake, except she'd do it with vegetables. And my sister-in-law, when she first moved here from Korea, also started making it, and she used it with kale and onion. She said, this is really better. I really like it. I liked it before, but I really love it now. So I made you some. So other cultures do this too. I used to use a pancake mix or flour and baking soda, which you could use, but I found something recently. I was watching Shark Tank, eating my vegetables, and this stuff, this Kodiak cakes, it's on sale. I think at ShopRite. But anyway, it's very good, and it's full of protein, and it's all natural, and it's whole grain. So I use that as my base. So see if you like the taste. But you know, it's it was comparable in price to Bisquick, but it's not chemicals. So see what you think. All right, and I have that here. And you could serve this hot or cold. It could be a meal. I made these like, thank you. I made these like silver dollar size. Okay, so that, you know, we'd have enough for everybody. But you can make them bigger, and you could freeze them. And what I do is I take them out of the freezer one by one, stick it in the toaster, and that's my breakfast. It's protein, it's vegetables, it's eggs, you know, and spices. It's a vitamin. I mean, don't be afraid to be creative. And the thing didn't go on fire. It's not like I make them super greasy. I hardly use any. It's just a quick flip like a pancake. You know, the first one you use a little bit more oil, and then after that the pan seasoned. So it's a good thing. And you can use it as an hors d'oeuvre at a party, and people don't feel like they cheated on their diet. You know. Now you don't have to cook everything. If you have the food on hand, I mean, isn't that pretty looking? Aren't the colors great and the textures and things? That makes me hungry. Anyway, I took some chickpeas. I don't buy hummus anymore. One of the guys at work showed a recipe. I said, this is delicious. They made it. It's so simple. Chickpeas, 2 cans of chickpeas, a little bit of water, a teaspoon of olive oil, and you can use a seasoned olive oil, which I particularly like, any kind. You know, you see them around. And that's the good thing about living in a multicultural community, is that we have all these different cultural things in our grocery store, which is, you know, kind of nice. But anyway, just cut up a nice fresh pepper. We just cut it up maybe an hour or so ago. And I put my hummus in the middle that I made in a blender. Okay? And you use tahini. Tahini is the spice. You could buy that in any grocery store. Put a couple of tablespoons of that in. Some lemon juice. Just squeeze a lemon. Make sure no pits get in it. And that's your hummus. And you don't have to pay $4.99 for a little tiny thing. All right? And then you just dip it. So I'm going to ask someone to bring this up. Thank you very much. You like that or light? But prettier. Anyway. And, you know, those are things that could be good. Now, one other thing, and we'll be making shakes for anybody to taste. That'll be have it as your dessert. But or have it as a meal. Meal replacement is fine. Fruits, berries are packed with anti-cancer. All right, really, they're so good for you. They make you feel good. They make you feel pure. They're full of fiber, and so we make shakes. And some people don't like kale, but kale's a superfood. So if you put some kale leaves in the blender with a little bit of water, a little bit of muscle milk, or any kind of protein, you can even use Ensure. You know, when it's on sale, you can use Ensure. It's the same thing. All right? You could put a little juice in it if you want to. I try to buy juice without sugar. You know, the green stores here, the grocery stores here, the ones that, you know, sell the farmer's market type of things, sell this very inexpensively. It's pure pomegranate. There's no water added, there's nothing. I mean, that's a superfood in itself. So we put a little bit, put a handful of blueberries, a handful of raspberries, whatever berry you have around. Grow berries at home. Blueberries we can grow here, fine. You can grow raspberries here, like crazy, all right? Strawberries, you can grow them if you can get to them before the bunnies do, all right? But put a little bit in there, a little bit of muscle milk, or any kind of protein, the berries. You can put half a banana in there. You won't taste the kale. It's a good way to get grandchildren or kids to eat vegetables, all right? You go to buy something with kale in it. You ever see the, let's take a brand, Bare Naked. You ever see that? It's like $6 it's delicious. It's very nutritious. But I don't want to pay a lot of money. I like to spend my money on buying gardening tools. You know, you have your favorite thing you like to spend money on. You have to enjoy life. And food is life to me, and it's fun. And I love sharing it with all of you. So, what I have is some books on container gardening, that if somebody would want them, I'd gladly share them with you. And what I say is when you're done with it, pass it on. And I think it's time we kind of get to know each other better, talk about gardening. Anybody want to come up? I'll do the zucchini with you. And please, enjoy. Enjoy, all right? And thank you very much.
Thank you.